I'm completely shocked to actually be saying this, but for the whole public domain horror movie genre, Popeye the Slayer Man may have the best practical effects I've ever seen. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Thank you for sparing your own time out to check out my thoughts on Popeye the Slayer Man. Not the Sailor Man, the Slayer Man. Yeah, this is currently on digital channels right now to check out. So this actually clocks in less than 90 minutes as well. So that's always a positive for these kind of movies. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this actually isn't a terrible movie, and I'm really surprised to be saying that because these public domain IP movies have been flat out bad. Wait until you see my review for Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Death and Porridge. But yeah, let's just get straight into this. So it's directed by Robert Michael Ryan. I've never seen any of this guy's previous works, and it stars people such as Sean Michael Conway, Elena Giuliano, and Jason Stevens plays the Sailor Man, aka Popeye. Essentially, what is this about? Okay, so the characters Dexter and Olivia, he is shooting a documentary. Dexter is going to make a documentary. He gets Olivia and a few other people who he knows, like friends, basically to come along with him. He's going to shoot a documentary on this abandoned cannon factory. In this abandoned factory, long and behold, Popeye the Sailor Man is there, and he's going to kill anyone that is disturbing his home. What's my overall thoughts of it after finishing the movie? Well, it's a little bit too long than what it actually needed to be. The story is not great, but the kills are terrific. Yeah, the kills are really graphic and bloody, and at parts I was like, wow, we've got some really terrifying inspiration here, and I give kudos to the filmmaker and the team and the producer who wanted to go with real practical effects than using CG, and it absolutely shows and is a huge payoff. And I think this will actually be one where anyone who is a fan of horror can appreciate the practical effects for a smaller budget movie, and this is one thing that helps this movie stand out compared to the public domain horror movies which we've had previously. And this is all we kind of ask for as a fan of horror. Give us some good kills, give us some cool characters and a cool enough story, and you're gonna have people who may watch this as a yearly watch, as a guilty watch. Where do I stand on the acting standpoint? Acting is not terrific. Now, is it the worst acting you've ever gonna see in your life? No. If you've seen the worst movie ever, this comes nowhere close to that whatsoever. But again, I think with the acting here, it depends on what the script and dialogue has been given. I think these people are trying to do the best that they can. The cinematography for about 90% of this is actually really competently shot. I think the fact that they use this abandoned factory and they actually shot on location really just gives this movie an atmosphere and gives it its own story. As such, it actually plays into the fact that, right, the Sailor Man does live here. He's in this abandoned factory. Okay, well, if you're going to step in there, you're probably not going to get out of there at the same time. In terms of Jason Stevens as the Sailor Man Popeye, what did I think of his performance? It's not bad. I'm not going to sit here and be like, right, it's 100% amazing. At least the guy actually, they try to give the Sailor Man a backstory as to why he actually is that in the first place. So kudos again to them in the story department, trying to explain why we've got to where we are and why these events are unfolding. The design of the character isn't the greatest, I'll be quite frank with you. I think he looks a little bit better in Popeye's Revenge, but overall, again, he is menacing, he is built, and he just kind of adds himself to the backstory, so I can really appreciate it in that fact. So far, guys, you're probably thinking, wow, well, what is wrong with really this story? What, why am I actually giving this more of a positive review? Well, in terms of the story department, this is where this movie lacks. Now, being less than 90 minutes, that is no kind of runtime whatsoever. A lot of people will be like, well, that's too short, we want longer runtime. In some aspects, I don't think that would work here. I actually think it would have benefited from being shorter, because the thing is, by the time we get to this factory, which is about 20 minutes into this movie, and bear in mind you've got 1 hour and a little bit some change left until we get to the runtime. That is a long time to spend in this one location of our characters mainly just running around. There's no real footage being used for documentary, and if there is, there's the character Dexter where he's shooting on this camcorder, and consistently it's got this one level of battery, and I'm just like, well, how is this camcorder not run out by now? And it's not as if he says like, oh, you know, he's got multiple of them and he's changing them all up. You don't see that whatsoever. You literally just see the one. And with the story and these characters running around for about an hour off the runtime, we spend a little bit too long in this factory, whereas I feel like if they chopped an easily 10-15 minutes off, we could have condensed those scenes a little bit more, had maybe a few less characters because some of them are there just for literally fodder to be killed by the Sailor Man. And we don't really get any character development. We get a little bit because, again, there's a few twists and turns with certain characters. I'm not going to say that here, but there's not real any development to, you know, get behind them, to root for them, to be like, oh yeah, I really want them to survive this horrendous night they're going through. So my overall score is going to be between a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I'm really surprised to be saying this, but hey, all I ask for is a good story, good characters, good kills, good development in a horror movie. I'm kind of easy to please, but have you seen this movie? Are you going to check it out? Let me know down below in the comment section so we can continue the discussion down there. Big thanks to all my awesome Patreons who help to support the channel. You can join Patreon yourself from only £2 per month. Link is down below in the description box. Now, in the meantime, if you haven't seen these videos of mine, which includes Popeye's Revenge and Goldilocks will be here when it is available, we'll click over here, have a bit of a deep dive. Till next time, that's it, you guys. I'll be seeing you later.